A good judging panel would consist of people who believe in the vision of AABLA and also who believe that it is important to identify great and excellent business leaders that will represent their industries on the continent, but also judges who have the same values of identifying people who would be able to successfully become an epitome of leadership for the young entrepreneurs. I'm looking for entrepreneurs that are committed to succeeding, entrepreneurs who want to do better, where their business, irrespective of the challenges that they are facing, they would still stick it on, where there's resilience, where they have hope, where they have courage, where they believe that no matter how difficult things might seem, they are prepared to go on and to learn from the mistakes that they might have made, but also being prepared to excel going forward. When you look at AABLA, for example, there's a lot of recognition that has been given to excellent business leaders. But it's not just recognizing them, but it's also helping them to build their businesses in such a way that they can learn from other businesses and be able to start motivating and enlightening other young businesses that are up and coming, businesses that could learn also through the awards and be motivated. Today, this evening, we heard about a young Sylvester who was saying through AABLA, he managed to be recognized that the business grew 35% after winning the AABLA award. So AABLA is not just an award that you receive, but it gives you the platform to be able to network with other businesses, to be able to learn and be mentored by other business leaders. So there's great platform that has been created to allow businesses to learn from each other and to be able to take the great learnings to build their businesses. So it's not just an award, but also even encouraging young entrepreneurs to be able to learn from the old business leaders, how they succeeded in doing business. And Sylvester was saying to us tonight that when he saw the types of people that won the AABLA awards before, he actually started doubting himself whether he will make it, should he participate. And indeed he did. And out of it, he learned a lot, that he was able to use that information to be able to build his business. And today he's a successful businessman. I think the biggest business is barriers to entry. Because when you start a business without you understanding what is required, for example, the resources that are required to start a business, and sometimes you want to access those resources, for example, financing or funding, and you are told to bring a business plan, and you have no clue as a young entrepreneur where to start in preparing a business plan so that your business plan can be funded. And if you don't have people that can walk the journey with you and assist you to be able to prepare what is required by the financing institutions, for example, you'll never be able to start a business. So for me, barriers to entry is number one. The second one is definitely the resources that I was talking about. Getting financing to start a business, it's a big challenge. But fortunately, you know, once you know through the platform of AABLA, for example, you'll be able to meet people that are coming from different financing institutions. We've got development financing institutions like IDC, for example, that finances industrial development. You've got institutions like the Development Bank of Southern Africa that finances different sectors in the infrastructure space. Then you have commercial banks. You've got other investors that can come in. But it is important for young people to know where to get the funding and how to get the funding to be able to start their businesses. So those are some of the challenges. But the rest of it is, as we know, on the continent, there's a lot of unemployment. Young people are unemployed, they can't find work. And for those young entrepreneurs that want to start business, I think the biggest vision for them is to be able to create work for other young people. But one of the things that we are facing on the continent is corruption, that we cannot run away from it. And if you're asking a young entrepreneur to give you a brown envelope before you give them business, I think it's so unfair on them, rather than us actually helping them to match them with big business, for them to learn from big business on how they do business and be able to take the learnings and use them to build their own business. Brilliant. So that's the biggest challenge for young people.